What's up, everybody? This is Why We Love Horror Television. I'm JWMaher. That's Aaron Brooks. Aaron, I'm just going to give you the floor. Feel free to gloat about how early you were with this show. How early?
Yeah, I mean, you can go back and check out our non-spoiler intro to this show where, maybe I wasn't as confident as I should have been. I said everybody should be watching this show, and now everybody is watching this show. This show being Widow's Bay. Apple TV is here. It's here to stay. We're going to be reviewing a lot of Apple TV on this channel. I can just tell you that right now. We're going to be reviewing Cape Fear coming up with Anton Chigurh and crew, or Javier Bardem if you want to call him by his Christian name. But enough about Apple TV. I'll stay on Widow's Peak here. This show continues to absolutely deliver for me. It's easily the best show of the year.
Yes.
We can both agree on that.
It's honestly, it's not even the fact that it's good. It's the fact that like every episode is like so distinctly like separate from every other episode, but connected. But they're all just like individual bangers.
Yeah, and it is like a show that we've kind of gone back and forth on behind the scenes. Like we could really do one episode at a time, which is pretty rare for a comedy series. To be able to cover so much, but there's so much lore, so much mythology, so many congruent storylines going on with this show. It is building towards something that I don't think we even have a clue of what that is yet. Like, I mean, we've got.
I think we're getting multiple seasons. I better call it now. I don't think this is a one and done. It's too big.
Yeah, and they were confident from the jump here, which is really cool because I don't see how this is getting wrapped up in a few episodes to where this could have been a one season show. So I think that props to Kate Diepold for creating, I just think like a masterful tightrope in comedy, horror, mystery, just all around extremely impressive. And, we start with, we're doing 3 episodes tonight. We got the mushroom trip episode, and then we also are covering the double episode.
I was going to say, the last time we covered it, we talked about the episode's just called what to expect on your trip. And honestly, didn't even dawn on me that we'd have like a drug episode. And honestly, the way the episode is, it's not that it's non-linear because it's linear, but it's edited in such a way that like you follow Tom's blackouts, which is like fantastic.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out, you're just as confused as he is every time he pops in, which is hard to capture, like I would say.
Yeah, and as, someone who has partaken in some trips on his in his life, allegedly, I can tell you this is pretty accurate to a lot of the feelings that you end up having, particularly the blink and you're in another place. And just, they do that bit like 3 or 4 times where it's just like Patricia, like, entering back into like the consciousness of Tom, and it is so funny. It's so subtle. Once again, the humor continues to be great, but like with it also comes like a lot of like substance, not just mushrooms, but other substance. And so, like there's a reason why, this is all happening. Tom's created a curfew after, everything going on in the island, basically the cosmic sunset cocktails or whatever they call it, Patricia's sunset cocktails, I think is what it's called.
Patricia's sunset cocktails, yeah.
Yeah, almost drowning like a bunch of people, and the funeral pyre. Besides, we need to have a curfew. We really do. Like, we need to get things under control.
I gotta say, of note, even in the midst of all the chaos, tourism is still booming at Widow's Bay. Like, people are just like in full defiance. Like, oh yeah, we're having too much fun to like even acknowledge the fact that there are rules.
Yeah,
there's multiple generations of tourists still like roaming the island, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, Matthew Rhys, give him an Emmy for best comedy, give him an Emmy for both best drama. I think he deserves all of the awards. Like, he is absolutely incredible. I couldn't imagine anybody else kind of being our main protagonist at this point.
Yeah, and like honestly, like all the other characters are also like firing on all cylinders. Just to jump ahead a bit, like finally, like the put upon sheriff is finally at the end of this 3-episode arc is like I'm fucking just done with your bullshit. Like we're good.
Put in my week's notice, not 2 weeks. My week's
notice, and it tells it to Patricia, which is probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the 3 episodes we get, like I said, they are so distinct. We get the mushroom trip episode. We get a full on like Fear Street Part 3, where it's like 300 years ago
with a different font, red font
for
the title.
And then we get the continuous immediate flash forward from the end of that episode right back into present day, which is like, again, I'm going to say it 1,000 times, hard to pull off, but they did it. Yeah, but they did it.
Yeah, and they like, and just the decision, like with last week's episodes being a double episode, it was such a perfect decision, I think, because for someone like you or I, we're fine being thrown into 1700s and being like, how long are we going to be here? I don't know. Is this the rest of the season? But let's be honest, like this show has to be for everybody. And that's part of the magic trick of this show is it's somehow for everybody, yet it's also for us. Yeah. And so by having the next episode to show you, we're coming right back to the present day. Richard Warren is going to be relevant immediately in the present day. I think was a really smart decision also. You get Ty West directing the 1700s episode.
And such a perfect folk horror like capsule. Like it was perfect.
And Ty West has done folk horror before, you know, with The Sacrament. And so, you know, it's like this is obviously a little bit different, but I think Ty West has a lot more range than the 3 Pearl movies or whatever they call that trilogy. Maxine was an aberration, unfortunately. What a trash movie. But, you know, the other 2, fantastic. And now he's just showing he still has it. And then this
he also did House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, like also, you know,
Innkeepers was not good either. So, you know, but like it's fine. I'm speaking for myself here.
Yes.
But then we have Andrew Donovan coming back for episode 7. He did the Patricia episode. So this guy's on my radar all of a sudden. You know, we've had the director of the Chair Company show up here. Like, it's just like we've got such hard hitters. And Hamish Linklater finally makes his appearance on the show. Unrecognizable, in my opinion, as Richard Warren. Like I said it before the show, he looks like Rob Zombie from White Zombie, especially in the 7th episode. But
I think this 2-episode arc is so strong that like we get a ton of exposition about what's going on, but we still have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, like we don't.
Is the best.
Like we don't know. Like Evan's going to play a huge role. Tom's son. Like I think that Tom's wife is a descendant of Richard Warren. I would think that's fairly obvious at this point for not being confirmed theory.
There's like I don't know if it's an Easter egg or if it's just like it's like a clue they drop at the very end of the last episode in the present. We noticed that in the painting of Sarah escaping the island with the children, one of the children falls overboard and survived.
Yes.
So, yeah. So that's interesting. Obviously, we're going somewhere with that.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you know, like kind of we've been kind of scattering through. Where do you want to go?
I honestly, like, I feel like we're going to keep running with, I think the next episode has to be about like what happened, who that kid is. And like in the big picture. And that might be like, maybe we do like a whole, like descending through history of like who this person is and what role they've played in all the curses. Because honestly, it's kind of like, honestly, I don't want to say this is like Fear Street because it's not, but in part, like in Fear Street, they also threw out a bunch of like tragedies in the beginning of it, and they just kind of fleshed out each tragedy, which is kind of what we're seeing here in Widow's Bay. And I think this child we might see them living through a lot of the tragedies we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. You know, I think that by the end of this first season, I feel like a big goal for the end of this, for the like last third or so of this season, is justifying why Evan becomes like a major factor in this show. Like there's just so much that's still like kind of unsaid as they go to the boogeyman's house and he's not allowed in and stuff like that. And just
there's also the fact that like we know that Richard Warren, as like the initial chief protector of the island, had made some pact with some demon, devil, you know, whatever, supernatural creature. And then Tom is led to believe that his destruction of Richard will lift the curse from the island. But I feel that maybe it's just going to get passed on to him. And we're going to get like a thing where he meets the whatever this force is.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, you know, like when they're on the boat with, you know, Richard and he's like changing his mind on wanting to sacrifice himself, I just think it's so great. Like,
the whole fight is great too.
Yeah.
And the decision to kick Wick overboard to save him, like all just so great.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, like calling it the dead zone. Like it's just like nice nods throughout. And I'm just like so encouraged that this show is now the #1 show on Apple TV. It's just each week has grown in audience, and I haven't seen a single person who I've recommended this show to, which is now at least 30 or 40 people, come back to me and tell me they didn't love it. So it's just like, yeah, I'm really impressed. You know, the drug trip episode, this isn't the first show to do a drug trip episode, but this is like one of the better drug trip episodes I can remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So like that is like commendable because it's not exactly new ground. You know, Patricia continues to be the best character on the show. She is great, and I think that next episode we might be getting more of a Patricia centric episode again. So that would be nice. But you know, I don't know what more we can really say. Like this is just really impressive.
Yeah, just for the structuring of what we're doing. Like I think doing these as a trilogy is fine because there's supposed to be 3 episodes left, so you'll see us again at the tail end of the series. But for now, for this arc, which I think was a good arc to get, because we get the trip episode introducing that we're going to the Richard Warren, then we get the Richard Warren backstory, and then Richard Warren in the present. A great trilogy to do. So let's just go to the ratings and see where we're at. I'll start with you, but I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So, am I ranking each episode or this as a whole?
Let's just do the 3 episodes as a.
Yeah, 3 episodes as a whole. I mean, it's a 5. It really is. This show at this.
I'm not even taking it down. I agree with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this show at this point has more 5-star episodes than non-5-star episodes, which is insane. Like it's like 4 or 5 out of the 7 are 5 stars, and the other 2 are 4 or 4.5. Like this is like an unprecedentedly good show. I'm honestly the last show I think I was this kind of obsessed with to this level. It was Dark on Netflix, which is obviously a very different show, but like it just I don't like. You know, Welcome to Derry. It took us like 7 episodes to realize, all right, we're in. Like there was just we're 7 episodes in. We've given 5.
Yeah, this show proves you can like build a world in an episode. I didn't need 6 episodes of world building.
Yeah, and that's the problem with a lot of modern shows is they like are trying to stretch it out to multiple seasons, and they think in order to stretch it out to multiple seasons, they have to like delay starting the show for the first season until it's like halfway through the first season. This just hasn't done that. It's really, really impressive. There is just like little humor even in like the tense spots, but it's getting like more tense also, which is like really interesting and tragic with like seeing that Tom's wife didn't die right away and things like that. And she was like in a blind catatonic state. And we're going to find out so much more about her too. So like, I don't know, man, I'm just excited for the next episode. It feels good to be right here. I'm not going to stop gloating about that anytime soon, but great.
I would say I fully agree with you on the ratings. And like you said, the show that you're most excited about was Dark. I'd say this show is I'm as excited about this show as I am about my favorite show of all time, which was Banshee, which is like, I draw a comparison to that and the fact that this show does not give a shit. It just throws you headlong into it, just like Banshee did. And like, you'll catch up. You're fine. And you appreciate not being patronized the whole time.
And this show is all like, it's not like a clean show, but it's a pretty clean show. Like, do they swear in this show? Like, not often if they do.
If they do, it's for effect.
Yeah, it's like so crazy, yet it doesn't hold back at all. It's like this insane magic trick on so many levels where it's a comedy, horror, mystery. It's vulgar without being vulgar. And it's just like unpredictable, yet predictable enough to get like my mom to be able to watch the show. Yet, like, I couldn't recommend anything else we review on this channel to her. It's really like just a masterwork, and I hope that we get 3+ seasons of this. And I think we will. Like, it's a show that I predicted in our intro it was going to grow with word of mouth, and it seems it is. So keep it up.
That'll do it for this episode of Why We Love Horror TV. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out our Letterboxd challenge here. We're watching stuff besides Widow's Bay every week. Until next time, I'm John Maher. That's Aaron Brooks. We'll probably do some more Why We Love Horror TV and other shows, but we'll see you back when Widow's Bay concludes for our final thoughts. See you then.